more than a year of debate, the Federal Communications Commission has agreed to impose tougher rules for internet service providers. By a vote of 3-2, the regulatory agency approved new rules aimed at enforcing what's called net neutrality. We're joined by our tech expert, Dan Thompson, to break this down for us. Explain what this whole thing means.
So net neutrality is this idea that the internet should remain free and open. Basically, that internet service providers, so think Comcast, Verizon, AT&T, all the big names, they should not be able to enact rules, blocking, filtering. They shouldn't be able to slow the internet down or speed the internet up for people who pay more or less. That's the general idea behind it. This, of course, has turned into a massively heated debate,
right.
And has been somewhat interesting, really, to me, to see who lined up where. But the comment from Chairman Wheeler 2 days ago, I thought, was really, really succinct. And what he said was, this is as much a plot to restrict the internet as the First Amendment is a plot to restrict free speech.
Interesting.
So I think it's clear that the heart that he has for this is for it to remain free and open, and then throw in all the political jargon and garbage, and then now we have a debate on our hands.
What is the consensus in the computer industry?
So it seems as though this is a good move. Now, where people are going sideways is with this whole Title II designation. Essentially what that does is it means that broadband is now equivalent to utility, which means the government can put controls in place, likely will, and it means that the government can tax the internet. Who knows if that will happen? Now, of course, Verizon, Comcast, they have all been saying, hey, this law was made in the 30s, it's not applicable to broadband, why would you do that? What Verizon is hoping that you have forgotten is that in 2010, the FCC passed rules basically saying you can't have a fast lane, you can't throttle, all the things I described a second ago. Verizon sued and won, and the courts said basically that the FCC had no jurisdiction to make those rules because broadband was not Title II, so therefore they had no jurisdiction. So what the FCC has done is said, okay, fine, now broadband is Title II, and I do have jurisdiction to make these rule changes. So that's where a lot of the confusion, and of course, you know, if you watch anything that gets politically heated, it seems like there's a ribbon of truth through what everybody is saying, and the actual truth is probably somewhere in the middle, and that is very definitely the case here.
Will this be permanent, you think?
Well, that's a great question. Obviously, Verizon, Comcast, all the big names, they're going to sue. There's no question. However, what's going to be interesting to see is if this Title II designation will be sticky, and if it is, I think that we're good for the long haul.
All right. Very interesting. And you're going to have more coming up on Mornings with Fox 43.
Yes.
All right. A lot of folks, this gets a little confusing, but it affects all of us, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
All right. Thanks, Dan. When we come back, the identity of the man behind ISIS